Hi guys, it's Keisha with LAER Realty Partners, and today we are going to go over how to do a landing page on our Boston Logic website. So first things first, I have my website up now, and Joe's going to show you that. And this is the main page that you'll have. So you'll end up logging in to your own page. Right now I'm already logged in, so you just log in as admin. This is your dashboard, of course. And creating a landing page basically is to capture leads and a way for you to promote your website as well, trying to capture people's information. So in order to do that, we go to, well, let me show you what one looks like. Here is one that Stacy has done. It's a great way to capture buyer leads. And it's free guide to finding off-market real estate. So it's a simple page. It has free report off-market properties. It asks for their first name, last name, email, and what towns that they're interested in, and a little spiel of, you know, why it's important, all the hot market, and how to get off-market real estate. And this is a great value that people want to know about. Even if you don't have anything off market, you can search within our LAER world and go onto our Facebook page and ask people if they have anything coming soon. So that's kind of like off market real estate. So it would be, you know, your website / whatever the page is called. So let's get back into my basic thing. So hold on. So dashboard here, we're going to go straight to content on top. The drop down bar, you're going to create that dynamic form. And these are the ones that I've already created. So I have one of how much is my home worth. I want a buyer brochure. Another one, what's my home worth, homes for sale. And on my regular page for, let me show you what that one looks like as well, just an example. On my front page, I have a bunch of different tabs, so if you need help creating new menus on your website, reach out to me. I can help you and show you how to do that. I have drop downs of, this is just other links that you can add to your page as well, make it custom to you. But if I click on the buyer's page, it scrolls down. I customized my entire website, so you can too. But so this page is dedicated to buyers, how much you can afford, down payment requirement, all the basic information that any buyer would need in order to start the process. And at the very bottom, I have a dynamic form, which is what the website calls it. And this is where someone can request information. So it just asks simple questions. Well, right now I'm logged in, but it will usually ask name, phone number, and email. How soon do you plan on buying a new home? Now, 3 months to 6 months, 6 to 9 months, or, you know, a year. Are you already pre-approved? So you can select that. And what type of communication you prefer. I think that's a really big question that people tend to forget. You want to communicate with your clients the way that they do it best and enjoy texting, phone calls, or emails. You know, some people are working, they can't answer a phone call, so text messaging or emailing is a better source of doing that. So you can do this on any page. You can create as many pages as you want on your website, as many landing pages as you want. I believe the seller page as well has that at the bottom. So yeah, how much is my home worth, name, what's your home address, phone number, email, send me the seller's guide, please, and, you know, when they want to sell. And as soon as I get a lead from this, I have a presentation, a sales presentation, a basic sales presentation that I would send out to them, and then I would automatically reach out to them. Yep.
And in order for that to be complete, they have to fill out every single part of that?
The ones that have the red asterisks on the side are what I need from them. Okay. So name, address, phone number, and email, and then the bottom is just, well, I usually set it to yes already, so they would actually have to come in and say no, but if they're filling this out, they want something. So, but yeah, and then at the bottom it even says only want to know what my home's worth, so they actually have a way to, you know, not feel pressure. But yeah, so that's basic one landing pages that I use, and I can promote that on social media, Facebook, paid advertising, and all that. So, so here are my basic ones that I've already created. So remember, I went to content, I went down to dynamic forms, and I created a new form. So click on create new form on the top right. And the first thing you have to do is name the form. So I would say, I'll do one for buyers, buyer form. And they don't see this part, this is just for you to remember. You can change the submit button to whatever you want it to say, but I'll just leave it to submit. You can change the color of the submit button to whatever color you want it to be. If you want it to be red and bright so they can see it better, you can do that. If you're on a team, this is where you would want to add someone's email. So I would put my email here. So I'm the one that's gonna get the email once somebody comes in. And notify assigned agent, you check that off. If you have your marketing list already done, you can add them to a drip campaign. I'm not going to do that now because I don't have any set up, but you can use the campaigns that are on this website as well, or you can customize those too. So you can add them automatically. So if a buyer comes in, you can add them to the buyer campaign. That way they're automatically getting things from you, and it's automatically done if you click that. So I'm going to click assign to lead to me. Again, that's for team members. And what I do is here, there's a bunch of check marks that are here, and I take off the lead capture, because if it's clicked on, that's the first thing that they're going to pop up, is just asking for their information instead of letting them see what's on the page. And I don't want that. I want them to actually be able to read the page and decide for themselves if they still want information. So I take the lead capture off. I put active. I do email submission, and send an email confirmation to submitter. So that means as soon as they click the submit button, they get an email themselves letting them know that they've done something and something's on its way. And then this is displayed to login users. So if you already have clients on your website that have a password to search properties, they are allowed to see this page as well. If you don't, like if you have a special promotion and you don't want people that you already have on the website to see this, then you would unclick that button as well. On the right side here is the confirmation text. So after they submit the button, this is what would pop up on the screen. So I would say, thank you for reaching out. We will be in touch soon, or whatever you want it to say. And then this is form instructions. I mean, you could let them know what to do, but it's basic, self-explanatory, so I just leave that blank. And then I scroll down, and this is the most, I think, tough part to figure out. So the 3 boxes here, this is where the questions that are gonna ask them. So name, phone number, email, all the information that you want is going to be on these text fields. So I use a lot of text fields right here. So if I click that, a field will pop up, and I'm going to say, the first thing is name. And I'm gonna say it's required. Then I'm going to go back up, click another text field, and put phone number. And at the bottom, you click phone number here to make sure that it recognizes it has to be a phone number. They can't just put, you know, whatever. It's gonna recognize it and validate it. And the red asterisk is me saying that it's required. So I want to know that as well. And I'll go back up again, text field, email. And you don't want to ask too many questions because then they won't fill it out. So I do the basics, phone number, email, name, and at the bottom here, email. So it needs to verify that it's an email. And then if you want to have, like, get fancy, do check boxes, checkbox group. Yep.
So does that mean that they'll verify that it's a real email? If not, they won't allow you to go to the next step?
It's not going to verify that it's a real email, but it has to be in the format of an email. So, but it will tell you on the back end whether or not it was a real email.
Okay.
So they're allowed to get to the next page. It's just you'll know after the fact. But so that's that part. If you want to, you know, do like 3 months, 4 months, well, you know, the time frame that they want, you could do the checkbox group, and you know, how long or what's your time frame. And you can add it to be required or not, but you do add another option. So basically this would be now 3 months. And you can add another one, 6 months. So, and you can change the order as well. And I'll do required just so you guys could see what it looks like.
So I have another question.
Yep.
So going back to the fields on the right, I think it's,
This
I mean,
right here?
you understand it now, but I think it's a little vague to people, number one, which of those to choose.
Yeah, you got to play with it and see which ones you want it to look like. It took me a little bit to figure out what would work best for me.
Yeah.
They have really cool, you know, date, time, select. Like they have things that would make a difference, but these are just the basics that I've used so far.
Right, and then the next part of my question on that was, so then when you click that and you started writing wording in, you seem to know how to do that.
Yeah. Yeah, it takes a little bit to figure out.
It didn't come up with the wording and you just select it.
Yeah, well, so you could do whatever you want. So, I mean, I guess it's harder for people to think about what they want if it's not already there. But, you know, you could do whatever you wanted to say and figure it out. Or you could look at other websites and see what they've done. Just remember that the more you ask, the less chance they have to fill out the information. They just don't want to. Even I do it. I'm like, okay, I don't want to tell you my life story just to get to the next page.
I don't want to give an email.
Yeah, so I'm like, all right, I'm out of here. So just keep it as simple as possible. So I'm going to do create now at the top, and this is what it looks like. So you've asked for the name, phone number, email, and what is your time frame. My submit box is a little faded. You can not really see it that great, so I could change the color on that as well. So let me go back and change the color. So this is the one that we called buyer forms. That's the one we were looking at. And all of the dynamic forms will always be under your dynamic forms tab. So content, dynamic forms, these are all the ones that you've created. In order to edit them, you just click on the pencil here on the right. And so the submit button was too light, so I could change it to be, you know, blue if I wanted to, or let me scroll down a little bit, be red here. So, and then if I update it, now it's a red button, so they could see it better. So now getting this to your the page that you want it to be on. So now that's the little tricky part. If you haven't already created your pages yet, this would be the time to do it. So you go back to content, you go to pages, you would create a CMS page or a landing page, whichever one you want. So a CMS page would be for like a normal page on your website, like my buyer's page that I had earlier. Let's see if I could, so a seller's page, so this would be just a regular page, my information, you know, about sellers and then how much it's worth. That's where your dynamic form would go. So admin name, whatever you want to call it, my page. This would be the, it would be your name of the website and then whatever you want it to look like on the dash bar. So I would be buyer form, just so it keeps it simple. Title header, you can either leave that blank or add whatever you want it to say at the top. It will be in gray. I usually leave it blank because I'm already going to add either an image or in the body I'm going to have some type of information already. So it usually double adds a title. So I'll just do that now just so you can see what it looks like. Buyers. Okay. And then, you know, this would be the content. How that's just the basic information, and then I would go into more detail, break it down, add some photos, do whatever. And then at the bottom it's going to ask you forms. So custom form, this is the dynamic form that we've already created. So drop down bar, I want a brochure now, how much is my home worth, what is my home worth, home buyer. So this is the one we called buyer form. And you go down. I don't usually use any of the information down here. If you want to get more technical, you can add all this information, but I've never had to do it, so I just leave it alone.
Do you mind explaining a little bit what keywords are and how that can be helpful?
So it's basically on the like how the internet would find this page. You do keywords here on if someone searches a keyword that you've added in this section. Then your page would be more likely to show up on that search engine. But there's a whole other side to it. It has to be out there. You have to constantly be promoting it. And so the way that I use this and I avoid using this is I do paid advertising. So I'm the one marketing my website already. So it's automatically going to be out there. But if you know the stuff, then go ahead and do it. It's a little complicated, so I don't use any of this other stuff here as well. So that's just my basic page.
Which is better in the beginning.
Yeah.
Just, can we ask if anybody, like a customer, has any questions? Because that's a lot.
Yeah. Do they have any questions? No?
Yes.
Yeah.
There, I saw meta something.
Yep.
What does that mean? Metadata or something? Right there.
Metadata.
What is that?
So this whole section is for how your website will be found. This page would be found. Mm-hmm. So it's more of like on the internet. If you fill out, do you want to explain it better?
Sure. So think about how you type into Google. Say you type in car. The reason a lot of those first sites come up is because they use keywords. So they typed in car within the keywords. Mm-hmm. And the more frequent your site is visited, Google prefers to have you as a higher thing. So metadata is almost like how you get found on the internet, almost on accident. Like if someone didn't type in your exact domain name, which is kqsousehomes.com for this one, that's how they would find you if they were searching for it, or even if they weren't exactly searching for it, they kind of stumbled across. So metadata is almost like like the tag to your website.
Thank you.
Yep. Okay, so once we update that, it's going to be a basic page, and then I'll show it to you. It's not going to have all the bells and whistles because I just want to do the basics so you guys can see. But so basically this is what it is. Buyer's guide. So that's the title of the page. You can add whatever information. So I would start adding photos and everything in the body of the page, and then at the bottom is where our buyer form would be. So yep.
2 questions. One, what do you put as the admin name?
Admin name where? Hold on, let me go back.
And when I start to use, can I call you for help?
You can always call me for help, of course. Hold on, let me go back. I don't know what admin name was. What did I call it? Thought I had it buyer forms. Buyer.
No, no spaces.
No, it didn't come. There it is. Okay. So admin name. Oh, here. So this is just something how to find your own page. So what you name it for yourself. No one sees that, just you. That way, so where I was just at, that's how I was able to find my page. Well, I probably can do it here. What was it? My page. My page was what I called it, I believe. Yeah, so it's just a different way to call it. Find it in your few of pages here, because I do have a lot of them.
So it's almost like the title.
The title, yeah. So no one sees it but you. So these are all the other pages. You have a lot of pages from our parent site. So anything that you haven't created yourself, don't touch, because then you'll mess up everybody else's websites. You can duplicate it and add your own and, create a new one. But so that's how I would name them, the admin page, whatever you want it to remember. And then if I go back to Stacy's, our main website, this is one that we've already seen. This is just a basic form. So that was a regular page, a website page that you can add to your website. If you wanted to create a landing page, which is this, just basic information, just straight to the point, it's self-standing website page, you would go back to create a landing page here and basically do the same thing. Name it for buyers, LAER buyers. The background, buyer form, 2. Page header, whatever you want to say. So, buyer's guide again. You can add a photo. So the photo would be just like this. In the photo, once you create the page. I don't have a photo saved, so I'm just going to leave it blank. The form, you would find it again. And then the content that you want it to have down here. So and that's basically it. You can add more keywords again. You can, do all this other stuff down here. You don't have to. Again, it's the way that you're going to promote it. If you want people to find it on Google easier, I would start adding that stuff under there. But basic stuff. I know I'd say basic, but preview here. And that's what it would look like. Your phone number, buyer form, buyer guide, the title. This would be the body of whatever you wanted it to be. And since I changed the color of the submit button, now it's red. But this could say anything you want. Just request addresses, anything. Are there any other questions? Yeah.
You're going to show us how to share it?
So, yeah, so let me go. I have to log out, remember what it's called. So it would be my website / buyer form. Let's see if I can do it over here. Well, I didn't do it right.
Got the .com.
Yeah. / buyer form. So that's what it looks like. Then you copy this URL and then promote it to wherever you want it to be. So that would be the landing pages to where the link would go to. So if you were doing it on Facebook ad, you create your image that you want people to see, and that's the website page that would go to. Are there any questions about anything else on the website?
Can you customize the formatting at all? Or is that kind of just like a template?
Template, yeah. So the parent website was just formatted that way so everyone's uniform. So they don't really change much. The only thing you could change is the photo that's on the back end, like what it looks like, and then the submit button. But it's all basic colors to match with LAER.
And the leads that are collected on these pages, do they go directly into your CRM?
Directly to the Boston Logic CRM, yeah. So you'll get an email saying somebody, requested information on your website, and it'll tell you whatever page it was coming from. So if it's a buyer's page, it'll tell you. If it's a seller's page, it'll tell you that they're requesting for. So in my page, on my pages, it says, let me go back to my website here. If a buyer added all the information down here, it would say, I would get an email saying someone requested a buyer brochure. So that's basically my buyer presentation that I have. I'm not doing extra work or anything like that. It's something that I already use on a daily. So I just pull that out, I have it in PDF, and I'll send it out, and then I'll have a reason why to call them. Oh, did you get that buyer's packet? Do you have any questions about it? When can we meet to go over it and get the process started? So.
Are we going to show Cloud CMA or not?
I don't use Cloud CMA.
Can we just tell them that there is a new landing page?
Yes.
I can say that too.
So let me log into MLS.
Just to let everyone know, Kiki's going to show you now where to find the landing pages that can be built within MLS PIN. It's a new program that they have. And we have MLS PIN coming to speak to us later in February and in March to go over Cloud CMA and landing pages and HomeSnap and a couple of other new programs that they have. So any questions that you have on that can be answered at that time.
So, so Cloud CMA has landing pages themselves. So the way that I know how to log into Cloud CMA is through my MLS. I go straight to the top bar, Cloud CMA, so it automatically logs me in. I was happy that I got the password correct the first time logging into MLS. So it'll tell you the basics information if you haven't logged in. I don't personally use Cloud CMA just because I've been so used to using RPR and just the regular MLS. But so you could tell that I haven't really done anything on here. It's walking me through the process. And they did just update the entire platform as well. So this is not what it used to look like. So if you haven't been in there, this is all different again. But let me see here. A CMA at the top. Create a CMA report. And they do have a video too that you can do. See, it's very in-depth, I think. It'll ask you more information about the property, all the information about the seller. It'll go through the process of picking the comparative listings, exact listing numbers, MLSs, and all that stuff for a CMA.
Where's the link for the landing pages?
Let me try to see if I could find it. Buyer tour, property flyer. They changed the whole setup, so I'm trying.
They did just change the format.
Like everything is different. Lead generation, I think. So the way that I went is to top corner, account settings down, lead generation, and so it's already made for you. You don't have to do anything, and this is free with iCloud. So this is view your landing page, and this is what it would look like. I obviously have to change my photo up there, but it's simple, it's cute, it has your information on here, and literally it's done for you. You just copy the link and see you later. So does anyone have an address that they want to add to see if I get a text message from it? No.
318 Howard Street.
Hold on, maybe it might not work because I'm in admin. copy the link. Yeah, I'm logged in as admin. What was it?
318 Howard Street.
318 Howard Street.
Yeah, Lunenburg.
Lunan, how do you spell that? Right there.
Connecting
We found it.
that.
Okay.
Isn't that cute?
So it's gonna ask them for their information. So I'm gonna pretend I'm Susan. I should know your number by now, but I don't. 618 something.
And that's optional anyway, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
And square footage of the home, optional as well, but 1,500 square feet or something. Email my report. Your report is on its way.
That's
So,
cute.
and that's it. It's already done for you. It's free. It's cute. It's simple. Less work than the Boston Logic website, but the Boston Logic website is more customizable. So you can change it. You can, this is just for what's my home worth. The other ones are for buyers. The other ones are for events that you're doing. I've used them for training for Stacy to get people to log in and register.
For her book.
For her book. Oh yeah, there's a landing page for her book. Let's see if I can find it under her page.
I would probably say that Boston Logic is better because
Yeah.
with the Cloud CMA, at least from what I'm seeing as the domain names and stuff, it kind of looks weird versus like if you had like a custom domain and
Oh yeah,
it's
yeah. I
much
know what
more
you mean.
simple.
Yeah, it's more. Yeah. True. Let's see. Free book, I think she called it. Let's see if it comes up. No.
How to hire.
Maybe. Book offer, free book offer. Okay, so that's what it looks like. Let's preview it. And there you go.
There you go.
And you could do the same thing on your page as well. So you can take the photo of a book. You can, another way to get people, sellers and buyers to send information. Another way to get people's information.
Kind of a weird question.
Yep.
If you do the landing page for Cloud CMA, how do you get it to Boston Logic?
I don't think they're completely separate things. So Cloud CMA is directly from, it's like a self-standing website, and they just are free because of MLS. So they're just, two different identities. They will not be connected to the Boston Logic website.
So back to Boston Logic. When you get a response, let's say it's a nice valid new lead.
Yep.
What do you do with it? This is more of a database CRM question. How do you capture it?
So their information is already captured in your CRM.
So
they're in there.
You're saying it automatically makes a contact record.
Yes. Yep. And so this page here is what Stacy had done for her free book offer. And you see here it's asking a lot more information. Here. So I personally wouldn't fill all this out. It's just like everything in the world that I just don't want to spend the time to do. But if I really wanted something, like the book,
Well, they
I would
put the address so that they're gonna mail it out to them.
yeah. So I would just do, I wouldn't add the rest of it down here, but just the information. I would just put name, not even first and last. I would just put name, address, city, state, and all that stuff. But the more you ask, the less likely they are, unless they're really dedicated to whatever you're offering. So just make it easy for them. People are lazy nowadays, so they just want to, throw it in there and see you later.
Well, I'd also say people get more suspicious.
Yeah.
nowadays, too. Like, if you ask me more than like 3 things, I'm personally like, yeah, nah.
You're trying to sell me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, if you ask me for you can ask me for like my name, my email, and that's about it.
The basic information that I don't care about. Yeah.
Got it? With your information.
Oh, all right.
So can you go back to you're saying that it captures the lead information and makes a contact right away.
Yes.
So when that happens to you, what do you do next with that lead?
So it depends on what lead it is. So I'll go back to my leads. I don't have many in here. Actually, I do. I forgot I
Look at
added them up.
that.
So they're automatically in here, and this one's old, so I'll use her. She's already been closed. So say this was a lead that came in. It's a buying lead. I could, it'll give me their information if they filled it out correctly. The buying type, what's the status, which now it's closed. And you can change the high priority. It'd automatically do high, but you know, it's brand new, so it'd be high. All the information of their property address, all that stuff. I don't think it automatically throws it in unless you have requested it in the lead form. But you know, this is an old lead that I had, so I had all their information already, so I threw it in there. But say that I just got this lead and I usually add them to the, let me see the campaigns here. See if we can. So there's LAER home buyer leads. Obviously I would call them if I have the phone number right away. Make sure that they got the packet that they were asking for, all the information that they're asking for, if they had any questions on it, the usual spiel. They're interested in selling now, when, where, how, have they been pre-approved, and if they're selling, you know, what time frame are you guys looking to sell? Have you, you know, seen what's out there in the market, what's going on right now? So there's two different campaigns here that you can add them to, but depending on the lead, I usually add them into MLS automatically as a contact in MLS, and then this is usually just for me to keep track of, you know, what's happening, where they are, and how to keep in touch as a CRM. You can import leads. So if you have leads somewhere else or in your MLS, which I have a ton of leads in MLS and that I haven't put in here yet, you can import them that way. Unverified leads, these are usually leads that haven't clicked on the verification email that's sent to them. So that's me. Contact submissions, I think this is the lead capture, but and then contacts. So these are leads that came in through the website. And then you can add task and action plans to each of your leads. I don't have any action plans in place. I use a different CRM as well, so I use Imprev, and I usually send them out a monthly mailer to get them on that. The way that it looks, they have all the holidays and stuff, so I usually use that more. And then if you want to change the way that your website looks, you can change it any which way. Here's the menu bar where I have, so if you look at my website here, let me go. So at the top, your regular website will just have the basic information that it originally came with. I'm a military specialist, so I have a designated page just for that, but you can change that top menu to anything. So my Veterans United page for LAER, it's, you know, dedicated to military, you know, certified military home specialist, you know, homes for troops. I have a donation page for that, which I have to update, and then another lead dynamic form to capture their information. So I also, I feel like the more, how do you say this, the more focused on one type of niche, the better outcome you are, because people feel like, oh, she's talking to me. Like, I fit in that category, instead of being broad about everything. Like, oh, you're a buyer. Well, you know, they're like, oh, well, whatever, that's everybody. If you're specific as to what they're talking about and it pertains to them, they're more likely to click on it. Like, oh, I live in, you know, Tewksbury, and that says Tewksbury, that must mean it's about me. Or veteran, I'm a veteran, that means I want to know what benefits me. So they always want to know what's going to benefit them. And especially if it's talking to them, I try to cater to everybody, every type of situation that can be out there. And I did a mortgage calculator, find a school near you. So this is just links to other pages, greatschools.org. I think there's one for lead paint information. This is a biggie nowadays, so it's right on my website. It's just another link to another page to let them know about, you know, the legal process and how it works. Just information about everything, so that way your website is the go-to place with all their resources. Mass housing as well for the buyer section. Again, another link that it goes to, just another government page, you know. And on the buyer seller side, market insights, if they're interested in subscribing to that. For some reason it's not going. Oh, there we go. So, you know, they could subscribe to the market insights for Drake It, scroll down, refine your report. It gives them all the statistics of the neighborhood and the town and anything that's been sold in that area. So they would get, I think it's a monthly report on this, and it just keeps them up to date as to what's going on in their company, in their town. Yep.
If I'm on a team, can I also set up my own page on Boston Logic for my specific focus?
So it depends on how your team has set up the website. So if it's Acushnet, So if it depends on how the website was set up. So if the website was set up was just a general website for the team and you guys don't have your pages, then you would have to talk to your team leader and get that situated. But you can create a page dedicated to you. So say that I could put about, or I would put the team instead as the top bar, and I would add all of the names, and each name of the team member would have their own page, and then you can do whatever you wanted on that personal page. And you can just create as many landing pages as you want off of the main website. So if you have questions about that, there's different ways to do it. You can reach out to me and we can get that situated. But I would definitely say the team member at the top. Instead of the Veterans United, I would put the team, and then they could pick whatever.
What about for Acushnet?
Acushnet, I would have to see how their website is set up. Yeah, same thing. And then, you know, the basics, LAER, I think this was already from the main website. You can change a lot on this page, on this website. Just like my front page, I did it to the basic information. I changed the front page. It's not a scrolling image like the original templates that you guys all get when you first get the website. I added my own page. I added my little slogan. The call out cards down here, cost of buying and selling, sellers, mortgage calculator, and buyers. So this would lead to another page. Actually, this would lead to the buyer page if they already, if they didn't click on it at the top. I also have the cost of buying and selling. How much does it cost to buy or sell? A little basic general cost thing. I kind of go through it. I think I have to update this a little bit, but a lot of people don't let them know of all the upfront costs when they're buying a home or selling a home. So I usually go over that. This is the number one thing that I go over when I'm in a consultation, just because people assume that the bank's gonna just give them all the money. And that's not how it works. You need to put some money down out of your own pocket to buy. And they usually don't know how much it is. They think it's like this huge number, and it's usually, you know, depending on how much your price range is, it's a, you know, not that big of a burden to do. So I usually hand this out in a little spiel of why you should be well prepared. All costs may vary depending on towns, inspectors, and banks. Just a little disclosure. And if you ever have any questions, to reach out. So this is always in my buyers and sellers packets, so they know what's happening. That way they're not afraid. I remember one time, personally, it happened to me. I went over it quickly. I didn't go through it in depth, and my seller freaked out. Like, I did not know I had to pay that, and I'm like, crap. So I'll never do that again, because then you're always the bad guy. Everything falls on the agent. So I always make sure, like, read this page, memorize it. It's gonna happen. You're gonna get charged for whatever it is. And if you're in New Hampshire, of course, things are different up there as well. So not everything is the same. I think, I mean, unless somebody else has a question on how to do something on the website or anything that I forgot to show you.
Thank you, Nicole, anytime.
Thank you guys, and if you need any help, I'm always around.
We're going to pause for a minute while we switch computers.
Okay, bye guys.
Thank you.
Okay, everyone, I am ready.
Well, you have to wait till this part with each one.
You gotta go live.
You're doing a 5-second countdown? Come on, I can handle a 3-second.
You're on?
We're good? All right, everyone. My name is Tom Vargaletis, and I'll be a real estate photographer today. We're going to go through LAER 3D services. I've shown a lot of folks the basics of how it works. I'm going to quickly go through it once more. Basic LAER 3D information, booking, and then we're actually going to go into the nuts and bolts of downloading and using your photos, because we offer a couple of things that you can use specifically for social media sharing, and I'm just going to show everybody that whole step-by-step process. So first off, we're on layer3d.com. This is the first place that you'll want to go for LAER 3D information as well as booking. I'm going to direct your attention to the bottom right corner of this web page here. You see this blue kind of pill-shaped button, Book Drone 3D and Photography here. At any point in time, you see that we're going to kind of scroll through the website. That button stays right there. It's not buried. You don't have to search anywhere for it, and you can find it right here on your phone. So just go to layer3d.com and you can book an appointment like that. Super convenient. We'll get to that in a minute. When you load up the web page, what we're watching right now is just a little demo video of a few of the things. LAER 3D, if you're not familiar with it, is a full-service real estate photography and videography department within LAER. So we're doing it all. I'm going to focus a little bit more on photography for this presentation, and then video stuff, as you see, depending on your listing and how we want it done, we could talk more about that later. We'll see a couple examples though. So scrolling down along the page, we have a demo video, another overview on the website if you wanted a little refresher specifically for layer3d.com. I have a sample virtual tour that you can load up, and you can share this with a client. If you're trying to explain it and they don't know what you're talking about, you can send them to our website and they can find this here.
I already have a question, of course.
Yes, Susan.
So if you were sitting with a client, would you show them the one on top or this one?
So you could just load this up and play this video here. I have this and other videos like it on my YouTube channel. If you just wanted to hit play on a video, that's fine, and you can voice it over yourself. If you wanted to give them a fully interactive virtual tour that they could actually manipulate, or you could perhaps show them live in full color, you've got a couple options. One is the web page here, layer3d.com. You just scroll down. This is a LAER listing. I'll hit the little play button and it'll load it up. We're actually not going to go through this virtual tour now, but we will do another one. But just so you know, there is one here that you can use as an example. And then of course, you could click the full screen for an expanded view.
Question.
Yes.
If you did a one of these with you, and how you get the link and all that, is that? I'm
going to show that in a minute. Yeah.
Is
So.
Is that forever? Is that link forever? Or
I wish it was. So we are limited fundamentally in the amount of actual server space we have, but that cap is like way up there. So I can't keep all listing websites forever, but I can keep them for a really long time, usually longer than a year so far. And as I expand like more server space and more drive space in the cloud, I'm able to have more data for longer. So
if we've used you before, I can go to my old listing.
Yeah, like Kiki, I know all of yours are still up and running. As time goes by, I will just be deleting them. Yeah. I haven't decided yet if I'm going to tell you or not. We'll see. I might just delete them and then you'll find that they're gone. No, I'm kidding. All recent ones.
To use you, then you always
exactly. All recent ones. If I notice that that's the one and only listing I have for you, I will either let you know, or you can use one of these sample listing sites. So there's always going to be a resource for you to use.
But if you've saved that to Dropbox or Google or something,
Mhm.
one of your other systems, then you will always have that?
If they've downloaded, right?
Yeah.
Well, the photos, if you download your photos and you save them onto your drive or your Dropbox or your own hard drive, yeah, you have them until you delete them. So I'm generating like 4 or 5 terabytes worth of data every 2 quarters, like every 6 months. So I go through a lot of data. I try to save as much as I can, you know, but I delete older things as we go. So on my end, I don't necessarily keep all data forever. But really, once you sell the house, the only thing that you would probably want to use later on would be the listing website. And if it's your listing, and those sites I keep up for a long time, well over a year, you're gonna have newer listings coming, or you can use one of the sample ones if you don't. So we're not gonna have any kind of scarcity of data. Do you wanna show a listing that you sold from 5 years ago? I mean, if it's the best listing you've ever had, maybe, but for generally, there's no need
That
to.
one on the lake, that was a fake house. I would show that one.
The one on the lake?
Yeah,
Which?
Salem.
Oh, okay.
New Hampshire,
That's
that was
right.
in
Oh, yeah,
there.
yeah. Palm Hill.
Yeah.
Palm, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, you might want to save that one forever, but
Yeah.
and we'll talk.
Okay.
Right below the virtual tour on layer3d.com. So we're back on the website here. Right below the virtual tour, you got a couple buttons. Download Layer 3D flyers. These are just PDF flyers. You can click that link. If you have a paper listing presentation, you like to print out some stuff, you can give these flyers and add them to your presentation. If you use an iPad, and this is specifically for an iPad, I have the iOS App Store here, you can actually download this software. So on your iPad, go to layer3d.com, go down to this button on your iPad, tap on this button, and it opens up the Apple Store to that software. You download the app, and you can actually save virtual tours onto your machine for sharing during a listing presentation. So if you have an iPad, and if you use your iPad in listing presentations, if you don't, you could download this just to play around with it. But specifically for showing clients,
Yeah.
that's a really cool feature. If you don't have if you have an Android tablet or you use your computer for presentations, just connect to Wi-Fi, go to layer3d.com. You got it all right here.
So if I download this on my iPad, do I have to log in or do I have to open up the...
Yeah, Matterport will probably want you to set up an account, you know, username, password thing, and then you can download and save. So you don't need an internet connection or Wi-Fi.
The email you send out to me with the Matterport, I could download it onto this?
Yes, there's a way to do that. Yeah, if maybe down the line I'll either make a video or we'll do a live thing and show you. It's not like instant and super straightforward and obvious, but there is a way to do it.
Yeah.
It takes a couple minutes of just like searching your listing,
Yeah.
you know, in the Matterport library, whatever it is.
Okay.
And yeah, you can save your listings. So here we have some pricing information on the page as well. And then finally at the bottom, we have listing websites. Now this is a rolling list here. And these aren't like the best listings that I've ever done ever. These are just the most recent like 6. So every time I do a new one, it's updated. And you see that there's some listings here without even photos. That's because those are appointments that are booked with me, and I haven't completed those photo shoot yet. Those are coming up in the next couple days. So these are just, you know, the most recent listings, so you can get an example, an idea of like what a typical listing is going to look like. And we're actually going to go through them there in a minute. Okay, basic overview, super quick run through the page, just a quick like look at the features. The final thing to look at for layer3d.com is booking appointments. You can do this on your phone, on your computer, on your tablet. Wherever you have an internet connection, you can go layer3d.com, click the little booking button, and it loads up this window here. You see a picture of my beautiful face, and then you see some calendar options underneath. This is where you go to book a photo shoot, and you also, if you have questions and want some time with me on the phone, you can book a phone consultation. Super straightforward. So what I did was I just clicked on it. So if you wanted to book a time to call me on the phone, you just click phone consult. It opens up the days, and you can go pretty far in advance here. I think I'll let you go up to like 60 days ahead. And pick an open day. See these blue rings that are open? If the day is booked solid and unavailable, it'll be gray and it'll say unavailable. Actually, I'll show you an example of that. There's probably one today if I'm, oh no, it's available times today. Hey, so if you want to talk to me today, you click on the day, and then when you click on the day, I'll just go back to it. You see the day, here's today, you click on the day, and it shows you only the available times for today. So my next available time is 2:30 p.m. today, January 24, 2019. Click on the time, confirm the time. On the left, it reiterates appointment information so you know what you're booking into. If you look at that and you say, oh wait, no, I actually wanted a different time, you'll see that here. And then you just input your information. Super straightforward. When this happens, it books directly into my calendar. You and I both get a email confirmation as well. And you get like an iCal file. You can save it into your calendar too if you want. Now, if you want to book a photo shoot, same exact process. If you wanted to book a photo shoot with me, you go to, here are our base package options. We'll talk about packages in a second. But to book the photo shoot from layer3d.com, you just click, that's approximately the size of my listing. Doesn't need to be exact. And you see this is set up for time, right? So for a 3,000 to 4,000 square foot listing, we have much more limited time. So the next earlier is Saturday, and we only got 3 p.m. on Saturday, right? The reason why you're only seeing these limited times is because it's blocking out the proper amount of time in the calendar, so you can't double book or overbook with me. It's only showing available times for that type of a photo shoot. So once you see that, you know that that's what you can do. So you can be on the phone with your seller, with your client, and say, oh yeah, I see this time is available, I see this time is available, and just book it right there on the spot. No, you know, oh, you're available these hours on Tuesday, these hours on Thursday, and these hours on Saturday, and then you call me and I'm not available those times, and then you call them back, and you know, you lose time, it's annoying. You can skip all that, just book right online. Just gotta add some appointment information, your name, your email, your phone number, straightforward. Property address, super important. I have to know where I'm going. Sometimes autocorrect will take over here. Sometimes if you're doing this on your phone, you'll type in the address, and then when you hit send, all that will happen, it'll like take out the town information, or it'll change, something might be different. So what I do is we both get email confirmations instantly as they come in on my phone. A couple came in just now. I get 3 alerts. So I can check it. I check them periodically throughout the day. And if it doesn't look right, I reach out to you right away. So, you know, if you send it and then you see the confirmation, you're like, oh crap, the town isn't there. What do I do? Don't worry about it. I just email you, we get the information sorted out, and then, you know, I update it on the calendar. It's not a big deal.
Like how I put in the wrong number. You were like down the street.
Yeah, yeah.
Numbers when I added the address.
Yeah, so
Same street, but different numbers.
Same street but the wrong number. So yeah, I was a couple houses up. In that instance, like, it's not a big deal. I call Kiki, say, hey, where are you? And then
I'm like, I'm outside. Where are you?
exactly, we did that little, you know, I'm waving, I'm jumping around, I can't see you. And then we just, you know, pull the car up the street. Not a big deal. Okay, add-ons. We've got a bunch of things we can add on. I'm gonna show most of them to you here, but you can check them off. Floor plans, drone photos, drone video, interior video, twilight, virtual staging, converting images to painting and printing for closing gifts. A bunch of options. Like I said, I'm gonna show you most of them. When you know what you want to add on, it's important to check that off here so I know what to bring. I'm gonna bring most of my gear anyway, but I got, like, if we ever do a photo shoot together, you're gonna see I got these big old boxes and like bags of tripod and light stands. It's kind of a lot. So I try to bring like the core essentials every single time. If you wanted to do certain video products, it's important to check that off. Otherwise, we can always make a determination on site. If you're not sure if you want this or not, we could always say, hey, we can add that and just do it. Or you could always say, you know what, I decided not to. Or sometimes if you order drone photography or drone video, I'll try and give you my honest input as to, do I think this is gonna help you actually sell the listing? Are you gonna be happy with it when you get it? Because sometimes the idea of a drone video and drone photos sounds great, but then when you actually see them, you're just like, oh, I didn't realize there was a junkyard right there in the backyard. So yeah, don't worry, we can make those determinations on site.
Are
Yes,
you
Susan?
going to talk about whether or not sellers are there, whether the agent is there, the different ways?
Yeah, we can. So I'm a licensed real estate agent. For some people, that they feel a lot more comfortable knowing that and letting me into the property alone. If you use super keys, I have a super key or super lockbox. I mean, so it's fine. Just the last thing when you book an appointment with me or showing instructions, how will we access the property? Is it a lockbox? You can give me the code. Is someone going to let me in? Just let me know what I'm walking into. If it's Supra, let me know. I'll bring my super key. It's not a problem. If the sellers are home and if they have to be there or they want to be there, we're still in the winter season. People with kids, retirees who they're like, we're not going to be gone out all day long. What do you want us to do? Like go see 10 movies in a row? They're not going to do that. And that's okay. They can be home. Just have to be aware of time. So if people are going to be in the house, it will take more time to do usually because I'm getting a lot more questions. And your relationship with your client is really important. And them interacting with me reflects onto you too. So I take that into account. So when we're talking, if they're asking me a question, I'm not just like, whatever, and then doing my thing. I'm interacting with them. I'm answering questions. If they have little kids that are like staring at the camera, I'm like, hey, do you want to take a photo? I like to engage them so it's a positive experience for everyone. I feel like that's really important. It will take more time. If they have little infants, some people go nuts over their babies in nap time. Like especially brand new parents, if it's their first kid, they're like, they have to go down the nap at 2:30, and if it's 1 second later, the world is gonna end. And so what we do is, I ask them that question up front, and what we do is we either do that room first, like everything. If it's video, virtual tour, we'll do everything in that room, get it done, and then be like, okay, you guys can go hang out in there, and then I'll just do my thing elsewhere. Or we save it to the end, or whatever. We can work something out, and the more communication there is with me in advance, if you have clients and they're really strict about this, or Susan, you had one where the sellers were kosher, or not the sellers, they were tenants. Right, so then there were some limitations there.
You couldn't touch anything in the kitchen.
Yeah, so we can always work around that as long as as we're in communication with that. So it's not an issue. It could potentially take more time. I do like to give people homework assignments. So there was an AFC championship game a couple weekends ago. I showed up to the listing. The seller, his wife was there, both of their kids, and all of their kids were home to watch the game. They knew this photo shoot was happening, right? But so the house is full of people. So what I did was I did one half of the house. I came up and I said, hey, everybody, I gave them jobs and had them move things around, whether they needed to get moved or not. It doesn't really matter. I gave everybody something to do, and then I sent them to the other half of the house because they set up their other TV or whatever they did, and we completed the photo shoot without really losing a lot of time. So that's not usually that big of a deal, but I really do I really would prefer it if it was empty and staged and ready to go, so I can just do my thing. But it's okay if they have to be there.
Can you mention limitations with drones?
Limitation with drone, yeah. So when it comes to doing drone photography and drone video, there are some limitations. So the Federal Aviation FAA, what's the last A? I don't remember what it is, but Association, sure. So those people, the airplane safety people, have very strict limitations when it comes to airports. So basically within 3 miles of an airport, you almost always get a no, because they own the airspace from the ground and up. Pretty much everywhere else, we're free with under 500 feet, unless the special restrictions like this. There's certain types of airspace that are limited, even if it's not by an airport. So generally, it's not an issue, unless it's pretty much all of Boston is off limits, right? Major international airport, they always say no. For some reason, Worcester thinks that they're an international airport too. And they're just as strict as Boston, even though they have 1/256th the amount of flights coming and going. everywhere else is fine.
And you
For
would
drone.
know this, but you wouldn't need to know this.
No, you don't need to know. So if I have a pretty good idea of what's off limits or not, so if I see the address and it seems it might be iffy, I look it up. But generally, it's fine. Generally, it's fine. You know, so, and again, that's a case-by-case thing. If you want drone for your listing, check off the box. If we get there and we realize we can't do it, then, you know, I'll just throw my camera up really high in the air and we'll figure something out.
Well, so my listing had a dumpster on the side, and they said that was going to be removed for the photo shoot. They never got it removed, so we ditched the drone. You can't show that. It's ugly.
Yeah. Yeah, that happens a lot too. Yeah, so when you're booking your photo shoot, try and visit the listing a day or two in advance if you can, so you can spot things like that. And then we can make alterations as we need to. And not just for drone, for anything. Like the other day I showed up at a listing and it was like in the middle of a major renovation. Like every single room, including the exterior of the house, like all the appliances and furniture was in the middle, like everything was taken apart, the kitchen wasn't even in. So yeah, good, but that wouldn't happen if you go there a couple days in advance and then say, hey, maybe we should figure out the dumpster thing. But if we show up and we have to get it done, we have to put it on MLS, you've got 5 seconds to do it. You know, we can make do with what we have. Okay, let's get off that tangent. So that's layer3d.com. That's booking appointments with me. When you book a photo shoot, we talked a little bit about what happens on location. I go do my thing, I take the photos, we do a virtual tour, we do a video, whatever it's going to be. Turnaround time is usually between 1 to 2 days. I'm training, I'm adding more staff so I can try and get, I want to do like same day delivery for everything if I can. But generally 1 to 2 days you're getting everything, like your floor plans, your video, all that good stuff. If we're getting into the crazy season and we're doing like photo shoots sun up to sundown and we just can't keep up, it might be closer to the 2 day mark for everything. When it gets to that point, I let you know right away. You know, turnaround times, I'm very cognizant of what our turnaround time should be or what it will be in our current environment, so I make sure to let you know so we can adjust if we need to. When the photo shoot is done, you get, if you order a base package, a listing website. So listing websites are really important for our virtual tour. This is how we're actually able to attach them to MLS. Now, if you're not familiar with a virtual tour, I'm just going to quickly show you an example. This is the dollhouse view right here. It's where you can see the listing as if it were a dollhouse. And you can see, you can manipulate it, you can look around. You can even, here, let's go into full screen view. You can even look at the floor plan view. Isn't that nice? Here, we'll go to the first floor. And at any point in time, you can click into a room and it drops you right down into it. And you see, this is not an interactive floor plan, it's not a video. I'm using my hand and I'm controlling the mouse. I'm clicking and dragging. And if I say, let's go look at the kitchen, I'm just gonna click over here and it's gonna fly us right in. So this is, if you haven't used this before, I know a lot of people are familiar with this, but if you haven't used this before, this is like making your listing available for showings 24/7 around the world. Anybody can come in to a virtual tour. They can look at the floor if they want to look at the floor. They can look at the ceiling. If they, for some reason, they want to, maybe they really like ceiling fans. They can look at the ceiling fans. So it's not your listing as shown by your photographer, your videographer. It's your listing as shown by your buyer. They're in control of what they see, and people really like that. Now, let's say clicking and dragging is a bit too much. If you're like, you know what, I'm not going to click nothing. Well, you got this little play button right here. You press play, and it walks you through the virtual tour as if you were playing a video. So I'm not touching anything right now. Right? And it's just going to take you in and walk you through the house while you press play. If you get to a certain point where you're like, okay, this is cool, you kind of come over here and then you say, oh, wait a minute, I'm going to click, and you can take control of the virtual tour at any moment. Let me say, wait, I want to look at this table for some reason. And then you can say, okay, I'm done looking at the table. I'm going to press play, and it just continues on. And it walks you through the entire house. So there's a whole bunch of ways that you can interact with the virtual tour. Just going to hit escape and get out of the full screen mode here. And so, yeah, that's what we're talking about when we're talking about virtual tours. When we go and we do a photo shoot and a 3D scan, we're able to give you this, and we're able to give it to you on a web page. If I take your attention onto this URL, this is layer3d.com/listing address. And this comes in an MLS compliant version that we can attach to your MLS listing on MLS. So it syndicates to Zillow and Realtor.com and all those other places. So if you do a virtual tour and you're like, well, now what? You can put it on your listing and get the same exposure that you would on MLS. So you don't have to have...
automatically do that?
For MLS PIN listings, I have a special arrangement set up with MLS PIN. When you go live, unfortunately, you can't add it to the draft listing. I don't know why. They won't let you do it. You have to go live.
Yep.
Send me the MLS number. Let me know that it's live. Give me your MLS number, and we can attach it. So when we do it on our end through a direct line to MLS, it attaches without review. If you were to try and copy and paste a link, they hold it for like a 24-hour review. So you want to get it up faster than that. Through MLS PIN, we can do it very fast. If it's on, you know, the Cape MLS, Martha's Vineyard, Connecticut, New Hampshire, I do give you the link, the MLS compliant link, and then you can attach it on your end as a virtual tour. There is a way to do that.
And if you do it, it scrolls the Layer 3D logo as well.
And if I do it on MLS PIN, yeah, that's part of the thing that I set up with them. We had to like set up these database.
Instead of a regular virtual tour, it has the Layer 3D logo.
Yeah, instead of the boring old virtual tour logo. So on your listing website, you don't just have your virtual tour. You also have your photo gallery in the tab here. And as you can see, we've got some lovely photos. And of course, you can click on them and you get your expanded gallery view, and you know, you can go and look through them like that. And then, side note, the photo gallery is not limited. So on MLS and MLS PIN, you're limited to 30 listing photos. If we ended up with like 35 or 40 and you're like, I love them all, I can't decide. Well, they're all on the listing website, just so you know. And if there are photos that you hate and you're like, I don't want anyone to see those, you just let me know and I'll make sure not to show it. I mean, I haven't really had that as a comment yet, but if it ever comes up, that's something we can do. Okay, we also have listing details. Now this is the branded version. So you see, here's our Dennis Doucette, or I always want to say Dawsett. His website, his contact information, and then some info on the listing as well. So this is the branded version. The MLS compliant version, exactly the same, just no Dennis. Well, your listing wouldn't have Dennis either, but you know, it wouldn't have listing agent information, broker information, right? Okay, and then we have floor plans. These are typical examples of floor plans here. Rooms are labeled and measured. Isn't that fun?
And again, we've mentioned before, this is such a wonderful feature to have to hand to the appraiser when you meet him at the house.
Yeah, because they're architectural floor plans.
Yeah.
Builders can use stuff like this with their as-built plans too. It's measured, space is to scale. And this house was really easy. It was like a perfect square. If you have a property that's like really wonky, it's like all these weird octagonal, hexagonal rooms and rounded rooms.
It had that angle thing off the side.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I think I queued that one up. If not, we'll get it. But so the floor plans, if it's not perfectly square, we don't show it like a perfect box. We actually map it out. It doesn't take any extra time. We show it exactly the shape that it is to scale. All right, what am I doing here? So that is the listing website. And finally, let's take a quick look at video. So this is a video for this listing that we shot. I'm just going to play a little bit of it so you have an idea of what we are doing here.
Before you start that,
okay,
could you just make a comment? I noticed that this is daytime, and you not only have the recessed lighting on, but you have the lighting on on the hood vent, just for a little accent, and the under counter lighting, so,
Yeah, I turn all lights on,
okay,
all of them, no matter what.
okay.
I just like to waste electricity, I guess. You just have a better look. So as you can hear, we've got some music too. If you're watching on the live stream, it might sound very faint, but we do edit this to music. And so like that's a great example of a video there. And then just briefly, I'll show you another video. So this is on my YouTube channel, so anyone can go here and watch these whenever they want. So you see, we try to get most of the rooms when we can. I usually stay out of bathrooms for video because I just don't see the point. Unless the bathroom is like spectacular. All right, so that's a good idea of the, so in the first one you saw, we had some drone video. We added that in with the interior video too. So if you want drone and interior, we put them together in the same little video, right? And I've got like, by now, probably hundreds of examples. You can just search my name on YouTube and just flip through all these videos. That's our video product. Now when the photo shoot is done, this is what we do. We're using Google Drive. And I'm just gonna show you all, this is an example of a Google Drive with photos. So I have some like basic portfolio images in here. We'll just briefly take a look. Like this one, we just saw the video that was taken in this house. An example of a twilight photo, another twilight. This is like a Victorian property way out in Princeton. And then we also have another product that's called virtual staging, virtual landscaping renovation. So this is the photo that I took of the house as it was. This is out in Winchester, I think. And this is what it looked like when I was there. And then this is the end result with the virtual staging. So let's do that one more time. So before, this is how the house looked when I took the photo. I did not go back and take another photo. We virtually renovated and landscaped. Bam.
And you just write a disclosure in MLS?
Yeah, you really need to. So on this specific listing, people showed up and they expected that.
Yeah.
You really need to be careful. Like this is a special tool that you can use to help ignite people's imagination. But you need to be very clear in the disclosures. This is virtually landscape. This is what it will look like when it is done, or what it might look like if you were to do this level of work to the property. Got another example for you. That same house, this is inside that house. This is the basement level, right? No flooring in, maybe some tile in the other room. I don't even know if it was tacked down to anything. No, that's cardboard. Sorry, it's not even tile. It's cardboard in the other room. And then after.
Oh.
Right, so we'll do that again. So this is before. This is exactly what it looked like when I was there and took the photo. I did not go back and take another photo. We virtually renovated it and we added the stuff in. Yes?
If I have a specific grouping of furniture that I want to see how it would look in the photo, is that something that you could do?
You can, so we can have a little dialogue if you have specific requests as far as how you want it staged. But we're going to be a little bit limited because we have a library of furniture that we use. So if you have specific style and a specific look, or even photos of examples that you have in mind, we can do our best to copy it. We might not be able to do it exactly, but we can get really, really close.
I know there's new software where you can take your existing furniture and see how it would look in the house that you want to buy.
Yes, that's a thing. So it's the quick little fast do-it-yourself virtual staging. So the issue with that is that perspective, lighting, and colors are not exactly the same. So on this one, and how far can we zoom in on this? Can I zoom in at all? Yeah. On this one, if you zoom in, you're gonna notice that you pretty much can't tell that it was virtually staged. And that's because we analyzed it. It's not just one piece of software where you click a button, you drop in like a sticker of some furniture. You analyze the perspective of the room, you analyze the lighting, and the color casts, and then you match things in. So it's a multi-step process. It's a time-consuming and an expensive process, but the results are just, yes, Susan?
I love the fact that you took the hole in the wall out, and that the credenza or whatever that is, you even have shadows behind it. So.
Yeah, because we want it to look like it's actually there.
Yeah.
In those other programs, they're pretty neat to give you an idea of how you can lay out a space, but I mean, if that's good enough for you and what you want to show and present to the world as like part of your brand, that's fine. But this is how we want to do it. We want it to look so good you can't even tell.
So we've talked about this for two different circumstances. One is the person is already relocated to Arizona, they're selling the house and it's empty. And the other one is a spec house of new construction. And the great debate is, do you show it empty or do you have furniture in it?
Well, you could pay for staging. I mean, when it comes to marketing a property, like staging is the best way to go, but that's the highest cost option. You might not have a budget for it. So virtual staging would be your low cost alternative to actual real staging. And we make it look that good, but you have to have people understand that the stuff's not there. Now, some people are like, well, is that faking? Is that manipulation? So with this heavy level of virtual renovations, like we totally changed the space. If you told people that that's what it looks like, you're going to get in trouble. MLS might even take the listing down. That goes against their regulations. But if you tell them, this is a rendering, this is what it could look like, you make sure you disclose all that stuff. This is just to help you get an idea of what it could look like. People will appreciate that. For just run-of-the-mill virtual staging, just a regular empty room, nothing special about it, and then after, virtually staged. So you see, there's fundamentally nothing was changed in the actual room. So when we just added in the furniture. We just added the furniture, right? So this is the photo that we took. We did not go back and take another photo. It's just bam.
That's amazing.
Just dropped it right in. And each of these items are dropped in individually too.
Again, the most important thing is to remember disclosing it.
Yeah, you do want to disclose it, but think about it like this. If the property was staged and you had a 2-3 month contract ended, staging comes out, but the property's still on the market, you're still going to use those photos, right? Or if the seller lived there, you had them, clean up the house and arrange things really nicely, and then they moved out, but the house is still on the market. You're still going to use those photos with the furniture. You just got to make sure, tell people, hey, the property is currently vacant, there is no furniture, but this is what it would look like, or what it could look like.
Actually, I never thought of that. So if you come to do the photos at the beginning, and the person is there, okay, fine, those go in MLS. And then sometime during the road, the guy moves to Arizona, and the people go to look at the house and it's empty, and they're like, this didn't look anything like that in MLS. So sometimes maybe we should redo the photos once the house is empty. You can. I mean, most people will just say, the house is now vacant. And that's pretty much as far as you have to go, because you virtually staged, but you didn't change the room. You didn't cover up holes and make it look like there's a new rug when really there's not. Because if you go into virtual renovation territory, there you have to be really careful with your disclosures. But virtual staging, another example. Here's before, empty room. It's a nice room. And then add in some furniture. Isn't that nice? We'll do it again. Here's a before and after.
So if I have a buyer who wants to see how their furniture would look and they could pick out of your library, you could...
They could. I mean, we could share them, links to the library, because we're using a lot of like standard designer furniture. So, if they wanted to go through and pick out stuff that they might even buy, we could. That might get a little expensive though, depending on how much they wanted to do it. So like on a casual basis, just to see, well, maybe we could... It might not be worth it, but we could always talk about that.
Okay.
Because when it comes to selling a property, you're trying to get top dollar for the house and getting a nice big commission for it. This is a business marketing expense. If you just kind of casually want to see like what the bed would look like against the other wall, it'd probably be better to just move the bed. All right, so photo examples. Now, when you get your photo shoot. This is what the email looks like. There's actually two versions. So we want to get things sent out to you right away, as soon as possible. So as soon as photos are done, oh, Sherry, her email came in right at the same second I clicked. Okay. So when the photos are done, I send you a link that looks like this. I share it to you directly via Google Drive. And then at that very moment, you can just click open, you open the link, and then you're able to see your photo. So this is 47 North Road. This is Jim Serino's listing. And I just did this photo shoot. When did I do this? Was it yesterday? I think I did it yesterday. I'm gonna verify that right now with you guys. Jim Serino, yeah, yesterday at 2:30 p.m. and today at 10:44 I'm showing you his completed file. So just so you know, as far as turnaround times, I say a day to 2 days in case things get really busy, but we try and get things out as quickly as possible. So you see that link, it gets you to your Google Drive, and then you can just click on it. Let's see how our internet's doing today, and open the folder. Any minute now it will open, and it's going to work perfectly.
Have you found that anyone didn't have
Google Drive? So Google Drive is free for you to use. I have a paid account because I have all this cloud space, but to send you the link and for you to access it, it's free. If you are a LAER Realty Partners agent and you have your LAER Realty email, that is an email through G Suite. Google, it's a Google product. So you have Google Drive, whether you use it or not, if you have your LAER 3D or LAER Realty Partners email. Okay, so here, we loaded it up. So I can't speak for your internet connection, but when you get that link, it'll take you eventually into your photos, right? And you can review them here manually. When it comes to actually downloading, we're gonna do that with you right now. There's a couple options. So, let's see the drop-down menu, whoops. So you can click on your drop-down menu, and then you got right here an option that says download. That will download the entire file, all of your photos at once. If you're looking at this view, if you're looking at like the main thing, okay, here are my photos, here's my teaser videos, I'll show you guys that in a minute. Here's my 360, I'll show you that in a minute. Here's my link, again, we'll get to that. But if you're looking at the top level here, you can right click and then you get the same thing, download. So I'm just gonna do that right now. We're gonna.
So you know this is my problem. So
I'm showing you right now. See that? Right click, download, and see prepping download. Now this is gonna depend on your internet connection, of course, because it's going to save them onto your machine, onto your computer.
But like I use Dropbox for everything, so I can
Use
just
Dropbox.
save it to my Dropbox file.
Yeah, well, it's gonna download it into your downloads file, however your computer is set up. For like 99% of the people, there is a way to customize that. But for pretty much everyone, it's just gonna drop it into your downloads. If it doesn't, because you've changed something, it's probably because you changed it on purpose, so you're gonna know what file that's going to. But the typical path, when you press download from the internet, it'll drop it into your downloads photo. So you see it's gonna take us a minute, it's gonna zip the file, and then it's going to download it onto our machine. And it is going to take a minute. We have a little bit of slow internet here, but while that's going, so once your photos are done, we send that link out to you, so you can access them right away. When your virtual tour and your listing website is done, we send you the full email. So this is an example. This is in my sent box. This is the same listing that I sent out to Jim. Jim, if you're watching, hey, how you doing? Hope you like the photos. I sent this out to Jim, and this is the same email that you get for all of our listings. It's got a set of instructions. We're not going to read through every single thing here, but it's basically going to walk you through, you know, here's your link to your Google Drive. And then we have another link here. If you want a short tutorial on downloading your photos, you can go here. It's a 2-minute long video that I made to show you how to download photos, just like I did here. So Susan, when you get those emails, you can actually save this link or just click on it for a quick refresher. You can see exactly how I download the photos. And then just some notes on, you know, what you're going to find in there. If you bought floor plans, that's where your floor plans will be. If you ordered drone photos, they're going to be with your photos. If you ordered a video, it's on your listing website. So just a quick refresher, if it's still new to you, or if you're like, you know, does that count here? Is it going to show up or not? You can find all that stuff right there in the email. And then you'll see when you click on this link, it opens up the same exact drive folder. 487 North Road, all those folders are there. We're not going to let this reload again and use up more of our precious bandwidth. Let's see, preparing download. We're almost ready to download. All right, download ready. And now the download can begin. So if you have limited internet speeds, it's going to take a few minutes. If you find that it's taking a few minutes, please just wait. Don't cancel it and try it again, and cancel it and try it again. It's going to get very confusing for you when you have like 10 half downloaded files in your downloaded folder there. Oh, it looks like it's done. Okay. Now let's see. I'm an Apple guy, so you're going to have to bear with me. Download.
Yeah,
What?
This is a whole different, go to files for this one.
Whole different operating system. All right, files. Okay, here we go. We figured it out. Oh, look at that, downloads. And then here's the photo. You'll notice that is in a zip file format. If you somehow manage to download this onto your phone as a zip file, it's not going to open on your phone. Your phone is not going to open zip files. And I say that because I have had someone download this and then like email it to themselves to try and upload photos on the go. You want to click on it and unzip it first. There's no special process for doing it. You just click on the thing to open it. Here, open.
Nope, I'm lost. What does that mean, unzip?
Unzip. So a zip file, a .zip, is a special form of data compression for efficiency when you're downloading and uploading things from the internet. In this specific case, it zips them, which means it creates a special file format of compressed data to help you download faster. All of your computer, Apple, whatever this thing is, was a Chromebook or something, or Dell, I don't know what this is, but they all have built in a way to unzip things. You just gotta open it. When it's on your computer, you just open it up. And so you see we opened it, and then now we've got the regular looking file there.
So once
So once you open it, see there are our files. Here's all our photos.
my question
Change to a thumbnail view. Yeah, so see, here's our photos. Beautiful, beautiful
So
photos.
once I've unzipped it, how could I then save that whole thing to my Dropbox file?
To Dropbox? Oh, sure. So you just go to your Dropbox. So you know when you go to add a file to Dropbox, you just drag and drop, right? Do the same thing. Not all these individually. You know, you'll want to.
No, I'm asking you if I can take photos -46, the whole thing, and add all 30 photos at one time.
Yeah. Yeah, you can add all 30 photos at one time. Right. So this, you just drag this, put it right on the Dropbox. Just bloop, and it'll take that entire folder. So it's, you know, most of us already have experience doing things like this. This is pretty standard data management. Sometimes a change in context can make things seem like they're new, but we just have to remember those basic steps that we follow with everything else. We have a file on our computer. If we want to upload it or move it around, you usually just drag and drop. MLS wants you to click like choose file and then do that.
I know.
Because MLS, they're still in dinosaur times. But so now that we have photos, we're going to put that on pause for a second, right? We downloaded our photos, they're onto our machine. I wanted to show you guys a couple other things. So we have the 360 photo that's right here. I'm gonna just quickly open it up, and you see this wonky, warped, crazy looking thing? This is a 360 photo. What it is, just think of like a map of the Earth. You know those distorted globe maps where it's like the weird shapes? Because it's the sphere that's been rolled out onto a flat surface. That's what you're looking at right now. This is a spherical panoramic image that's been stretched out into a square. Why do we make these, you ask? Well, You don't have to use this, of course. I just add this as a thing that you can use, but there's one special thing that you can do with it, which I'm going to show you guys in a second here. Oh, great, reload. There's one special thing we can do with the 360 photos. And we're just going to go to them right here.
I'm demonstrating.
Oh, you're looking at oh, is that on Facebook?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So Susan is showing it on Facebook. She's used these before. We're gonna let this load up, and we're gonna download a 360 photo and do just what she has done there. So on the virtual tour, how you can look up, right, anywhere, go anywhere in the house. A 360 photo is one still image out of the virtual tour in that 360 kind of spherical format. So our lightning fast internet speed is starting to kick back in here. And you know, it's very easy to lose patience and get frustrated with technology and decide that it's not working. Through experience, I know that if my internet is slow, I just have to wait. I clicked it, I see that the thing is loading, I just gotta wait a minute and it's gonna come. Fresh to start again, huh? See, it's being a little difficult right now because I don't know how strong our internet connection is right now, but it's definitely on the weak side. We might actually skip this demonstration and just show Susan's example. Well, let's see if I can. You post it on your personal page?
Yes.
Let me see if I can just find you. And then we'll just show it right here on the screen. Susna.
That's good.
Susan Lewis. So when you type out the whole name and it takes this long to even fill in, you know you're in trouble.
Yeah.
This one or Realty Partners?
First one.
Oh, the top one?
No, the other one.
All right, let's go back. Isn't this fun, everyone?
Yeah.
Waiting for things to load? All right.
I logged out of my phone.
Do.
I logged out, so I'm not connected to the wireless.
All right, we're looking at Susan
It takes away
Lewis's.
from his bandwidth.
Oh, I done just a little bit.
Just a little bit more.
Yeah.
All right.
There we are.
Hey, we got a 360 photo. So if you're watching this at home, this is a 360 photo. Now you see the little mouse icon, click and drag to look around. We're gonna do that in a second. When you're holding this on your phone and you're on Facebook scrolling through, you see this 360 photo. Have you ever been at that point, like you see something and then if you turn your phone to the right, it like looks to the right, and then you turn it up, it like looks up? That's what this will do automatically. So when you drag and drop that warped, expanded 360 photo, it creates this. So we're just going to, I'm gonna quickly with the mouse, so I'm clicking and dragging, and you can look around. So this is a nice new construction that we did, one of Susan's listings. And Susan, how hard was it to post this?
Oh, 2 seconds.
2 seconds. You just drag and drop and post and you are done. Super, super cool little thing. And this is just a great little way to get attention on social media. You know, instead of posting your traditional still images, it's just another way to get attention online. Because it's kind of unusual. Not many people are doing it, if any at all, really. Yeah, so that's really fun. And of course, you can also share your LAER 3D link on social media. You can also share your other photos. We have another thing in the Google Drive. Let's see, did it load it back up?
Can I ask a question about that?
Yes.
I think with the teaser links that you have for Facebook, you have 2 different either sizes or lengths.
Yes, there's like a 10-second one and there's a 14-second one.
Is there
So
a reason
I'm gonna.
why I would choose one or the other? Or?
It's totally arbitrary.
Okay.
Totally arbitrary. Just pick whatever one you'd like. I'm not going to continue messing around with the Google Drive because our internet is suffering. Essentially, a teaser video is what you're seeing right now, right? Just a quick little thing in the virtual tour. Usually they zoom out, show you the dollhouse, and zoom back in. And they're like 10 seconds long. So you just post them onto Facebook, onto Instagram, and they autoplay. And again, just like the 360 photo, it's a way to just get some more attention on your post because it's kind of interesting, kind of unusual. Now, let's talk about Instagram. We're talking about social media sharing. So when you download your files, you can upload them to MLS in the usual manner. A lot of people like to share things to Instagram. I'm going to show you all a incredible secret that, because a lot of the times everyone thinks that you have to post to Instagram from your phone. Usually, yes, that is the case. So then the question is, how do I get stuff on what? Do I email myself photos? How do I do that? Like, it's this big pain in the neck. If you go to your Instagram, you log in. So we're gonna do this right now. We're gonna right click on the page and then you see this drop down, inspect. We're gonna click inspect. It's gonna open this little window on the right. It's gonna show this unholy list of code and this crazy, strange foreign things. Don't worry about that. On the top left corner of that window on the side, my mouse is on it right now. Toggle device toolbar. You see it's like a big square and then like a little square, kind of looks like a phone. Click on that and it shrinks you down into like mobile view. And then you refresh the page. And once it brings it back up, it loads up just like the mobile app. It's not exactly the same, but do you see this little plus sign that was not there before? This is how you can upload a photo to Instagram. You click the plus. And then let's see, we know that we have those files in our download. Somewhere. Let's see.
They're, if you go on the left,
Oh.
right there.
Oh, here they are. So you just downloaded these photos, right? Let's actually go into thumbnail view. And let's pick one right now. Does anybody see a photo that they like to post on Instagram?
Kitchens are always good.
Yeah.
Kitchens are good? You want to do a kitchen photo? Okay. All right, we got a few options. How about this one?
Yeah.
That's great.
That one's great. All right, we clicked on it. Open. You see the little upload bar? Bam, it's on Instagram. And then, you know, we can make our little adjustments. And then, let's see, are we gonna, oh, we could add a filter if you wanted to. We're not gonna do a filter. We're just gonna click next. Write a caption. We'll do Susan Lewis thinks kitchens are always nice.
That's true.
Share. And we have just posted a photo onto Instagram from our laptop. Okay, let's go to my little feed. And then we'll see it's gonna load up into our feed. Oh my goodness, look at that. It is on Instagram. How long did that take? That was like a minute? It was with me walking you through it. So it's very simple. So you're on the main Instagram page, right? You click, let's actually close this little thing here. You're on the main Instagram page. From here, you can't just log into Instagram and post. It won't let you. But you can right click, click inspect, click on the little mobile icon, refresh. Oh, we already did it, so the plus is here. But normally this menu on the bottom wouldn't be there. You just click refresh. So it's what, a 3-step process? After you download your photos, you can bam, post to your, that's how I do all of my Instagram posts. I don't mess around with getting things on and off my phone, trying to figure that nonsense out. Just from my computer, I finish your photo shoot, and then I pick a couple photos that I might like, and then I just post it like that. Isn't that amazing? Isn't that amazing? And that one is free for all the kids at home. Okay, so 360 photos, social media sharing. We pretty much went through it all. You know, I guess the bottleneck here will be going through the process of downloading photos. And like I said, so this link takes you to your Google Drive. We already know Google Drive is being slow for us right here. Normally it's not. Normally it's quite fast. It might be an issue of a Wi-Fi signal here. Any questions? I got the link to the video right here. It opens up on YouTube. It opens up into my YouTube channel. And then you see the timestamp on the video. It's 2 minutes and 7 seconds long. Just shows you exactly how, see from the email, how to go into Drive and download your photos. So you can always review that at any time. Let's see, are we gonna try it again? When it comes to accessing your listing website, I do provide you that link, and that link is here in your Google Drive. So it's taking its time to load up, but in this document, 47 North Road link, I don't know, I guess I'm feeling adventurous. I wanna try loading it and we'll see. It's just a document, it just says, hey, this is your link. Here it is. If you have any questions, you know, here's another little video that I linked in there for, oh, hey, it worked. Oh my goodness. I'm so excited that my own things work. Isn't that amazing?
That's always nice.
No, the issue is that internet here is slow. I was worried that it was going to take too long, but it ended up loading up pretty quickly. So yeah, here it is. You know, branded link, and then it also gives you some information. You know, if there is an MLS compliant version, if you are in MLS PIN, let me know what your number is so we can actually get it up to you. Right, and then you just copy and paste that. You can take this link, you can text it, you can email it, post it online on social media, add it in the email signature, whatever. And then when you want to show your clients your photos and the virtual tour, you can share this with your clients too. It's just like a single point that they can go to, where they can just review everything. And then once it's all said and done with, we just email out a PayPal invoice, and you can pay online. If you have a PayPal account, it's fine. You can use your PayPal account. If not, there's a way to just click like pay with card, check out as guest, something like that. You just put in your card information like buying something off of eBay. It's like super simple. And then you're done. Then you can go forth and sell houses and enjoy your life. All thanks to LAER 3D. Okay, any questions on that? So we covered a lot of things. Basically, the bottom line is you can book an appointment with me at LAER 3D, and then once everything's ready, you get all the tools that you need to download, share, and market your listing. And if there's any question at any point in time, I've got a ton of video content and little notes with instructions in the emails. You don't have to worry about all these complicated flow charts, and if this happens, what do I do? It's all there self-contained, and if there's ever a question, you can also book a phone call with me, or just reply to the email, hey, I'm having an issue with this. Hey, can we do this? Whatever it is, and then we just get back to you and we solve it. Most problems, if it takes you more than a couple minutes to figure something out, just call me, email me. You know, usually we can figure it out like that. You know, in this case, it was a matter of just sitting and waiting for an extra minute or two because the internet was a little slow. You could blame the computer, you could blame the Wi-Fi, whatever it is. It just took more time than it normally does. Sometimes that's the only problem. Sometimes it's a matter of, you know, the download. I was clicking on the wrong button. You know, because if you're not super familiar with Google Drive and how that works, it could be difficult at first until you really learn it. But you know, any questions, you can always reach out.
If somebody wanted to change out a picture, like you have a snow scene and now the...
Yeah, that's easy. You just, so if I took the updated photos, I do it automatically. If you have updated photos that from long ago or whatever, we can just swap them out. That's not a problem. The virtual tour is different though. If you want to change something in the virtual tour, we would have to come back and rescan whatever those areas are that we changed. Yeah, Matterport's a little tricky like that. They let us do a lot, and the software is really impressive, but it is limited. So yeah, if you wanted to change the virtual tour, like if there's a major renovation, we just come back and rescan that area. Yeah.
Super. Thank you, Tom.
All right, everyone. Thank you for your time. Thanks for bearing with me with this internet.
Can you see me, Joe? Oh, no. Just thank you, Tom. That was a great presentation on LAER 3D. Just wanted to tell everyone tomorrow is our last day. Stacy will be presenting on launching your career. We also have several members of our new LAER concierge coming to present their programs from moving companies to storage. I forget what all 4 of them are. But it's going to be a great day tomorrow, and we will have graduation. So we will see you tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock. And remember, this is always live streamed and videoed on LAER
Training.
LAER training.
Training.
Mhm.
Thank you.